Hello my fishy friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Daylin and I am the Walking Mermaid. Today I wanted to talk about the first stages of making my own wedding dress. Before making the dress I had to find a style that I liked, and the style that I decided on was a strapless bodice top with a sweetheart neckline and some off-the-shoulder decorative sleeves that aren't really functional, but they're pretty. And the skirt, I wanted it to be very long and ball gown-like, but not too poofy. And I also wanted some pleats in the front, which I really like. I think it's really clean and just really pretty, and I'm super excited to make it. And it's very Anna-esque, very Princess Anna-like for her coronation ball gown. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. As you could probably figure out, I couldn't find one sewing pattern with all these details that I wanted. So of course I had to find some that had some details I wanted and to pick from those and then take from another one and then kind of mush them together. And so the first pattern I found that I liked was McCall's 7281. Right here. And as you can see on this view right here, there is a strapless bodice. It is boned and it does have a lining, which is what I wanted. And it's also flat on the waistline. I didn't want it to come to a point because I wanted it to be one piece. I wanted it to be one dress, not a top and a skirt like most of my costumes. But yeah, very simple, very simple. That's what I want. And then for the skirt, I chose New Look 0722. And I chose this one of View D right here. And as you can see, the skirts have a pleat, about 4 pleats in the front, and it looks really nice and crisp. For this one though, it was a little shorter than I wanted it to be. So I did have to add a foot to the pattern itself. And how I did that was I traced the pattern onto tracing paper, and then I measured out an extra foot all the way around so it corresponds with each little movement because it is a high-low, high in the front, low in the back, so I wanted it to be a foot all around. So yep, that's what I did to make how I wanted, and I think that's pretty cool. There are probably some videos on how to do that if you have questions about that, but if there are no videos, just message me and I'll try to help you as best I can. Alright, so at this point what you're about to see is me cutting out the pattern, drawn on pattern pieces out of the fabric. And that's not exactly where you start when you start a project. First you need to cut out the pieces of the pattern from the paper that's in the envelope. So there's about 3 pieces from here, probably 4 from this one that I had to cut out. That was boring, didn't want to film it. And then you take your pattern pieces onto the fabric that you're using it for those pattern pieces. In my case, I'm using all of the white fabric for all of these pieces, so it wasn't that hard. And then tracing the marks from the pattern pieces onto your fabric so you know what to do when you come to those parts, and I'll explain that later. If you don't know or have never sewn a project with a sewing pattern, I will definitely explain that later. Yeah, so let's get started. So here you can see that I am starting to cut out the pieces from the fabric. My little dog Roxy is very involved with this process. Luckily she doesn't shed, otherwise I'd be more careful. But yeah, so this is just me cutting it out. And here are the finished pieces once I cut all of them out of the main fabric. Here I'm cutting out the pieces for the inner fabric of the bodice only. It needs that inner fabric to hold the boning in the inside to give structure to the garment. I guess Roxy wasn't interested in this section. And now I'm doing the same thing with the lining fabric, just the bodice pieces. That'll be the lining that actually touches my body on the inside. And I decided to make it a contrasting color because my wedding theme is ocean, mermaid, and it just looks really pretty. It matches my shoes and the ribbon that will be on my dress on the finished product. And here I am sewing the main fabric that they call it the fashion fabric or the outer fabric. I am sewing the bodice together. So that is the centerpiece right there. And the front side piece. The front side piece has a curve that you need to ease in. I should have zoomed in on that better, but so you pin it and then you match the notches, which are the markings that I marked on to the fabric in the beginning. There are notches you have to like kind of pleat in or ruffle in the fabric to make it the curve nice and curvy. Otherwise it's just, it catches and it looks not so good. So you gotta go slow. I take pins out as I go before they catch onto the sewing machine, because for some reason I never had luck with leaving pins in, so I take them out. And we're going to do the other side, front. Again, easing in that curve, or that fullness. And there is a curve there, obviously, for the bust area. Alright, that part is done. It kind of is starting to look more like a garment. I'm now putting on the back pieces that will meet into a zipper at the very end of the final project, or final product. Right, one more piece, and I will do this for all 3 sets that I cut out. As you saw before, I did the outer fabric, which I'm doing now, and then I will cut out the inner fabric the same way and sew it, and then I will sew the same way with the lining fabric, and we will have our 3 pieces, which I will show here. And there they are, all 3 pieces waiting to be sewn together. Please let me know down below if you liked this kind of video. And I just want to thank you so much for watching, and give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I am always so happy to see you guys. And that is all for today, guys. Thank you for watching my video. Give it a thumbs up and please subscribe if you are wanting to see more stuff like this. Part 2 is coming soon. Have a good day. Bye.